Observance, veteran of the U.S. Navy, Stan Maser. Hi, Stan.
Hello, Bart, and thank you for allowing me to be part of the program and marketing this Pearl Harbor event.
You bet. Good to see you, and thank you for your service.
Well, you're very welcome. I was proud to do it. I give 7 years in the Navy, basically 3 CB battalions. I was pretty much between 54 and 64. Closest I ever got to anything, and it was really tight, was down in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba during the missile crisis.
Oh, wow.
Building a lot of bunkers, pillboxes, what they call MLR, main line of resistance. We were uptight for a couple of months, and then they took the missiles out. Thank God they took the missiles out, because if they didn't, I may not be here telling you about it.
And neither would I.
That's pretty much it. So,
Yeah.
but it was a good run, I appreciate doing it.
Saturday, Pearl Harbor Day, and our community has a relic of Pearl Harbor Day right here at the Cascades.
I was able to get that relic back in 2019.
It's actually a piece of the U.S.
Piece of the U.S. Arizona.
Yeah.
It took a couple of years. Once I got wind of it, I basically was getting a quarterly publication by Seabees, what they call Can Do. It was all about past, present, and the future. And one of the articles in there was related to the USS Arizona. Back in the 50s, they actually took the superstructure down because of safety and corrosion. They used that superstructure to support some of the gangway catwalk that the visitors go aboard to get on the launch to see the actual memorial as we know it today. Well, then, back in 1995, U.S. Congress legislated the relics program. Removed that segment, put it in like a storage area, put proper foundations underneath that gangway catwalk, and then in the future, cut that superstructure portion up and delve it out to worthy recipients. That's when I found out that there might be a piece of it available to obtain. And I definitely went for it at that point in time. It's another part of the story is to how I really got involved is through my grandson. We were mulching trees in a location of where that showcase for the 911 is situated, along with there's another memorial, victim of violent crimes memorial. And while we were mulching these trees, I just basically, to carry on a conversation, I said, "Remember Pearl Harbor." And my grandson and his buddy Owen Campbell looked at me and said, "What in the world did you say that for?" And I explained it to him, that we might be able to get a piece of the USS Arizona, put it in a similar sized showcase in the same general area.
And Carter and Owen, they thought you were crazy.
They thought I was Lupo, crazy. Yes, absolutely, squarely. So anyway, that's how it came about, and I did it in behalf of the state of Michigan, but to be located at the Cascades Park.
So now we have a place where we can honor those who died at Pearl Harbor on Pearl Harbor Day right here in Jackson.
That's true. There were 28 Michiganders that went down with that ship. So at the ceremony, we'll have the commandant for all of the American Legion posts in the state of Michigan will be there. We'll also have the commander of all of the VFW posts that are in the state of Michigan will be there. And they'll read these names off of the deceased. A bell will be rung after each name is pronounced. But we're going to add one more name this particular year, Herb Effring. He was not only in our Kiwanis Club, he lived to be over 102 years of age. He was an Army officer in charge of a shore battery at the time Pearl Harbor was attacked. He passed away this past May. So, in respect, yes.
He was Jackson's last remaining Pearl Harbor survivor, and I think he was he 102?
102, and in his 90s, he still snow skied, water skied. He was pretty good shape. I had an opportunity to talk with him about a month and a half prior to his passing away, and it was good, short, small talk, conversation, and it really surprised me that he passed away.
Yeah, I was sad to see that. He was sharp and active right up to the end.
Very much.
Now, you've had pouring rain and freezing cold on Pearl Harbor days in the past. What's it going to be like this Saturday?
It's supposed to be reasonably good weather. I don't think we're going to have a foot of snow out there. I'm in hopes that
It'll be like this, like the pictures from, I don't think this was, I think it was 2 years ago maybe. So who's going to be part, so it's starting at 1 p.m.
1 p.m., right?
Okay, what else going to happen?
What all is going to happen is being it's going to be a decent day. The county parks is supposed to have the flag at half-mast. They're supposed to have a bunch of chairs out in front of the showcase. And once that's underway, then basically Dan Todd, who's going to be the master of ceremony, will kick it off, and then there'll be the religious aspect of it. There'll be the singing of the national anthem, and we'll basically get into the program to where it'll feed into where these commanders of the American Legion and the VFW post will do this recitement of the 28 Michiganders that went down with this ship and the bell ringing. And basically the rifle salute will occur. The honor guard will raise the flag to full mast, and there'll be taps. 2 buglers will play the taps, and that'll be the end of the program, roughly about a half an hour in length. And then everybody could go over to the Baptist church, which is right across the street from the exhibit site, and they can grab a cup of coffee and maybe a cookie and small talk and whatever before they decide what to do with the rest of the day. So,
Very nice. Former Veteran of the Year, Jackson County Veteran of the Year, Dan Todd, one of our leading veterans, leading the services on Saturday. Now, you have done a lot of research on the USS Arizona and this particular piece. Have you found that as the community has discovered this monument, that you've been responsible for educating a new generation that, like Carter and Owen, had no idea about this part of our history?
well, they might have had a wee bit of knowledge, but I don't know that for sure. So I'd have to ask him personally.
Do you go by and look at it and watch people checking it out?
Every now and then,
Yeah.
I'll go by and I make sure the flags that are flying there are in good shape. If some of them are tattered or should be replaced, we're getting good cooperation from the county parks supervisor that everything is in good order. But I do stop by, and especially with my Norwegian. He was basically was in a program to where he
Well,
was.
I know you have a sense of ownership over this, as well you should, and it does. The plaza, with the addition of the Arizona, the plaza is spectacular. All that concrete and lighting and steel and everything, all added with the Arizona.
We could thank that to the Andy Mercer Company. That was all free gratis. Elrose Steel, the framework for the showcase, plus a few dollars, was the showcase material was free gratis. Jackson Glass Company, the glass enclosure of that showcase was free gratis. Midbrook Fabricating was free gratis, was putting that all together. And even Fritz with the flags cut us a special deal as far as it went well. We had a lot of community involvement in that, and continue to have community involvement, especially on the events that are taking place. I could thank a lot to Dan Todd. I wasn't aware that maybe I should have brought him here. That's my mistake on my part. He's my Marine Corps buddy. He's my Semper Fi guy. He's about 9 years Marine Corps veteran.
Well, Stan, thanks for all the work you've done to put this together, and we'll see you Saturday at the Cascades.
I appreciate you letting me come on board and making whoever wants to attend, please attend.
Always great to see you. Stan Mazer joining us today on JTV. We've got